Coming up on Mountain News this morning, floodwaters devastated one family farm in Whitley County, leaving the owners trying to get back on track after costly damages.
Also in Whitley County, one of the areas hit hardest by all of this flooding. Those impacted are getting some much needed assistance.
And back here in Perry County, crews at Buckhorn Lake State Resort Park are preparing for more heavy rainfall we're expecting to get later this week.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 5:33 on February 12th. I'm Madison Pergram.
And I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning into Mountain News This Morning on this Wednesday.
On this Wednesday, we're halfway through the work and school week, but more rain in the forecast. But we do have a bright side. It's supposed to, we have 3 clear days this weekend.
I know. We'll
That's exciting. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, people just keep the rain gear out.
Yep, exactly. And keep your eyes peeled for any type of high water issues coming later today, because that flash flood watch goes into effect for the entire region starting at either 4 or 7 tonight, different start times. But let's talk about this morning first. You're seeing a little bit of everything on Pinpoint Doppler radar. But again, I think the only moisture that is actually falling is down toward Lake Cumberland there, maybe in the parts of southwest Virginia. That snow, some colder air up in the atmosphere, some moisture up there with it, but not coming through the clouds unless it's maybe some flurries or something like that. Visibility is a big issue this morning. That's one of the major stories. Less than 1 mile at Moorhead, less than 5 miles in a lot of areas, so be careful of that. Outside WYMT, not too bad this morning. Hit it in pockets on my way to work. I come through about 3 counties, so it wasn't too bad, but not as bad as it was yesterday, that's for sure. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s this morning, from 32 in Ashland to 41 in Jacksboro. They actually start to go up here later this morning, as you'll see here in the day planner. We'll go up basically all day long, along with our rain chances. Our daytime high for today, actually it's not a daytime high, it's basically a night high, will be close to midnight in the upper 50s, mid to upper 50s. We'll talk more about the extended forecast here in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, some farmers in Whitley County lost nearly everything. Now they need help building it all back. The flooding caused an estimated $60,000 in damage to Sally Gap Farms. That money may be hard to come by for the family-owned business, as their farm is their sole income. The family lost several buildings and machines for their bakery house. The family did catch a glimpse of a few of their picnic tables going down the river.
I was beside myself watching everything that I'd worked for all my life leave. But, you know, we prayed about it, and I know that God is going to help us build it back.
If you would like to see how you can help the Metters family rebuild their farm, you can reach out to them at the Sally Gap Pumpkin Patch Facebook page.
And Whitley County was one of the hardest hit areas of the last week's flooding, and now they are receiving some help from Nashville. The Churches of Christ Disaster Relief Program contacted the Shiner Church of Christ located in Williamsburg and organized a semi-truck full of donations to be delivered yesterday afternoon. WYMT's Emily Bennett was there as they organized and gave out the supplies.
This truck bringing some relief for Whitley County.
This is the only help that I've had since all this has happened.
An organization from Nashville, Tennessee watched from afar as the floodwaters rose and prepared to meet people's needs. Ready in a moment's notice.
It takes them just hours to load the truck and to be able to get a driver to drive across the United States to be able to be here.
The truck.
There are over 70,000 retail dollars that have been spent to be able to have this one truck come in town here and to meet many needs.
Full of a variety of supplies.
There's probably 10 or 20 different kinds of things that will be delivered.
Local church volunteers organized all the donations, preparing for families to pour in.
We're poor people. We can't afford nothing like that. You live on a fixed income, that's all you got.
Carolyn Anderson and Ward Davis Jr. live in Williamsburg. Their house was completely underwater.
We had to leave in the middle of the night. The water started coming up under our trailer.
Losing everything, not knowing how they are going to be able to move on.
When we all went out, we didn't even think about grabbing a change or clothes or nothing. We just went because the water was coming in so fast we had to get everybody out.
But because of these donations, there is hope.
They've helped us a lot.
Hope to continue the cleanup process. Trusting with this help, they can begin to start over.
Now again, that was Emily Bennett reporting. They did not hand out all the supplies last night.
Shiner Church of Christ will be continuing to pass out items throughout the county until everything is gone. Meanwhile, Red Cross shelters in Harlan and Whitley counties are on standby as more bands of rain come our way. People in Harlan County can go to Harlan Baptist Church. We have pointed that out to you on this map. That's at 120 West Mound Street in the city of Harlan. And anyone who needs shelter in Whitley County can go to the National Guard Depot at 215 Hurricane Hollow Road in Williamsburg. Anyone in need of shelter can call the Red Cross hotline at 859-428-8345. You can also call 1-800-RED-CROSS.
A Pike County road could be closed for a little while longer. Here is what Kentucky 292 in South Williamson looked like yesterday. Crews needed to wait for the slide to stop moving before cleaning up. Since the road is closed, people have had to detour into West Virginia to get to the Tug Valley ARH Hospital.
Meanwhile, all of this rain also caused a slide on Kentucky 40 in Johnson County. One lane is open, but everyone should use caution in the area.
And while some crews are working by land, others like the marina workers at Buckhorn Lake State Resort Park are out water monitoring the flood levels and maintaining areas that have not been flooded.
Yeah, WYMT's Connor James rode along with them again yesterday as they prepare for more rainfall.
The waters of Buckhorn Lake are high but quiet.
Just basically us out here.
There's not much out here in the floodwaters except for debris.
But it does make a pretty good mess on us.
For 4 years now, marina manager Ryan Miller has called this lake a second home. And it appears flooding comes with the job title.
Seems like the past 3 years has been the same thing. So, getting pretty good at it at this point.
He makes light of it as he coasts around, dodging logs and trash. But he's also keeping a close eye.
Looks like it's going to get pretty high again.
On the possibility of more flooding along his lake.
Got to keep an eye on it and do what needs to be done when it needs to be done.
The slack at the marina is critical to keeping it in place, so Miller always knows where the levels sit.
Right now, I think I looked at it, it was like 810. Which is above sea level.
Last year's flooding hit nearly 830 feet. He's hoping that doesn't happen again, but unfortunately...
You always hope that you can get rid of some of the water that you got before the next one starts, but at this time we didn't get rid of maybe about a foot before it started coming back up again.
An already high lake could mean more problems. In Perry County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Now crews expect another 10 to 12 feet of water if the amount of rain forecast remains the same.
And water and hazard rose to its highest level in 17 years last week. On Main Street, one of the newest businesses in town, the Red Spotted Newt bookstore, flooded. Thankfully, owner Mandy Sheffel was able to get her stuff out in time and says she did not have any serious damage and plans to continue to run her bookstore despite the flooding potential.
And again, it'll just be keeping an eye on the river. And I think that'll be a part of being a business owner here in this area. And I'm willing to take that risk because I'm confident in what's going on downtown. I'm confident in the Main Street renewal. So if that's part of it, that's part of it. And we'll just deal with it as it comes.
Sheffel plans to be back open at 10 a.m.
Lawmakers had questions for executives of an aluminum mill planned for northeastern Kentucky. Brady Industries has had plans for a nearly $2 billion plant to employ more than 600 people in Greenup and Boyd counties.
Construction was originally set to start 2 years ago. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the plant's progress and concerns legislators have.
We have every expectation that we'll be there.
Optimism amid some questions and controversy over plans for a major aluminum mill for Greenup and Boyd counties.
We feel like we are ready to move forward, and we are a shovel-ready project.
That despite a recent leadership change and questions over financing, 3 executives told lawmakers Tuesday that plans are still on track for a plant that could employ 650 people.
We have commitments from customers to purchase more than 50% of the mill's output when we start producing.
4 years ago, then Governor Matt Bevin convinced lawmakers to invest $15 million in seed money. Now those lawmakers have questions since the company has not started major construction.
Are they going to get power to the facility? Are they going to start turning ground? When are we going to expect that these jobs are going to be filled and the aluminum is going to roll off from the plant?
It is our expectation that this will happen.
Company executives say they are still about $500 million short in financing they hope to have by the end of the year.
And at that time, we would start to place equipment orders for all of our long lead time items and the structural steel of the facility.
Sure, I would say a lot of people have a bit of a nervous feeling, but I think that it's very clear that the board shared that feeling.
Executives say that an economic impact study shows the plant could lead to as many as 18,000 jobs across the state. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Senator McGarvey says the $15 million investment approved by the legislature will be returned to the state with interest if the construction does not start by the end of the year.
Well, later on Mountain News this morning, we'll have the details on an old viral challenge that is sweeping the internet once again.
Heavy rain and the possibility for some strong storms. Two phrases no one wants to hear right now. We have the potential for both later today and tonight. I'll track it out hour by hour in about 3 minutes.